This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Fishermen fined $4 for illegal fishing. 2 fishermen were fined $4 in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday for illegally fishing in the Port Royal Fairway last month. The men John Fong and Paul Saunders pleaded guilty to fishing in the fairway, which is illegal under the harbor rules of 1971. According to court documents, on March 18 at 7:30 a.m., Marine Police patrolling the Port Royal waters observed a red, white, and blue 28-foot fiberglass fishing canoe with the men on board. Saunders and Fang were reportedly casting their nets near the cruise ship pier and were cautioned separately for the offense and arrested. While being cautioned, Fang stated, "Officer, beg you a chance and me give you some fish." But Saunders appeared more confrontational, saying, "Officer, I go you fi go and stop take set pan fisherman and go look for gunman." After hearing the statements, Senior Parish Judge Lorian Cole Montague advised the men that she would have to impose the maximum under Section 14B of the Harbor Rules 1971 fine for breaching the Harbor Act 1874. The act is a very old act. You are fined $4 or 5 days imprisonment. You can probably leave a change for the government, Cole Montague told the men, who could hardly hide their surprise. Saunders, the captain of the vessel, told the court that he had recently been in dialogue with the National Planning and Environmental Agency, the Coast Guard, and the Caribbean Maritime Institute to have the laws changed which would allow him fishing in the fairway, but to no avail. "The fairway, the channel and the reef, we can't fish there. Where fisherman going fish then? The same place where them call the fairway is my fishing ground, and me a fish there from 1974. From me a 8-year-old, and the grounds don't change," he bemoaned. Advising that he should take his concerns to Parliament, Cole Montague said, "I understand your frustration, you know. Let me tell you what is wrong with this country. We don't put our representatives to work. We don't, for example, organize ourselves to say, all right, we are a group of fishermen who are disgruntled. Let us form an organization, let us form a body, and let us lobby. And we can lobby with the MP out there. So as a body we approach NEPA and try to have our voice heard. But because you have been doing something for a long time without being caught does not make it less criminal," Cole Montague continued. Chug quick to sign extradition orders for scammers. Minister of Justice Delroy Chug says he is swift in signing off on requests from the United States for the extradition of scammers once the requests are on good grounds. At the same time, Chug noted that several scammers waived their rights to extradition hearing in Jamaica and consented to proceed directly to the United States under the terms of the extradition laws and the treaty between Jamaica and the U.S. The government of Jamaica is working very closely with the U.S. authorities to weed out the scammers. And I can tell you, as soon as an extradition for a scammer reaches my desk, within a matter of hours, I glance through. Most of them consent, but if they don't consent and I see good grounds, I sign without any problem in a matter of hours," Chuck said. He was speaking on Tuesday, the second day of the 2-day Child Abuse Guidelines training seminar for the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Justices of the Peace, organized and facilitated by the Office of the Children's Advocate at the Royalton Luxury Resort in Trelawney. Earlier this month, speaking at the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce and Industries 2-day security summit held at the Montego Bay Convention Center, Dominic Riley, the country attaché, U.S. Postal Service, U.S. Embassy, warned that a number of Jamaican lottery scammers will be extradited to the United States this year. Riley did not indicate the number of scammers who will be extradited, but noted that there are several in the pipeline. With the way that the extradition laws changed in the summer of last year, in August 2021, extraditions will be picking up. "You shall see a lot more extraditions coming in the future," Riley declared. "You know, of course, extradition is not an easy thing. It's not a quick thing. So you know it has to go through the proper process, so you will see more in the future," added Riley. He underscored that both Kingston and Washington are discussing the inadequacy of penalties for convicted scammers. When asked if there has been a marked increase in the number of extradition requests from the U.S. for the extradition of scammers, Chuck replied, "There is no doubt that there have been quite a number of requests. I can't say if there is an increase, but there have been a few requests. In fact, in most cases, the parties haven't been provided with the evidence they have consented, so it's not a problem. I suspect there have been increased requests, but they have not really shown up in my office as yet, but quite a few scammers have consented, and the provisions have been made for them to go to the States. But I can't say if there is an increase because it's a steady amount that comes every now and then. Body of homeless man found in Manchester. The body of a homeless man was found at the back of the Manchester shopping centre this morning. It is reported that a passerby stumbled upon the body about 6 o'clock and alerted the police. The body was subsequently removed from the scene and taken to the morgue. He is yet to be identified. Toll buses want power to fine pedestrians and tailgate cheats. The Toll Authority of Jamaica is pushing for legislative authority to impose fines on pedestrians who encroach on toll roads and to penalize motorists for tailgating. An agency of the Ministry of Transport and Mining, the authority also wants a legislative backing to regulate advertisements on the toll roads, as well as to make it mandatory for future concessionaries to pay toll monitoring fees to the regulatory body. Transport and Mining Minister Audley Shaw said the toll authority also wants it to be empowered to apply monetary sanctions on toll operators for non-compliance in the remedying of any defects or damage to the toll road infrastructure. Shaw made these comments while making his contribution to the sectorial debate in Gordon House on Wednesday. The toll authority is mandated to monitor toll operators through routine inspections of infrastructure, traffic control management, employee safety practices, and observation of traffic flows. Concerns regarding pedestrian encroachment relate to traffic hazard posed by animal herdsmen or others walking along the high-speed no-go zones. A pedestrian was killed in a motor vehicle crash along the toll road near Linstead St. Catherine in late January. Tailgating motorists have sometimes cheated the money collectors by beating the retractable barrier. Turning to the mining portfolio, Shaw said that the Jamaica Bauxite Mining Company Limited has taken steps to commercialize the bottled water extracted from the spring on its Ocho Rios property. He said the water will be distributed in bulk to the cruise lines that dock at Reynolds Pier. This innovative project will promote Jamaica's alkaline natural resource and will provide an economically viable revenue stream to JBM, he said. The project is slated to be launched in October this year. Other JBM plans include an industrial park involving the restoration of 3 dilapidated buildings into 60,000 square feet of modern storage facilities for commercial rental, a commercial park, and the further development of the Reynolds Pier. The JBM has also earmarked 150 acres within the Lidford estate to build 500 housing units. Shaw said that the affordable housing development will support the ecosystem infrastructure of the Lidford industrial and commercial park projects. The project is scheduled to start in December 2022. Meanwhile, Shaw disclosed that late last year, the UC Rusal started making payments towards the US $35 million in bauxite production levy owed for the period April 2018 to September 2021. Between November 2021 and March 2022, approximately 45% of the outstanding sum was paid to the Capital Development Fund. A structured plan for payment of the remaining amount has been developed. Jamaican man arrested in Cayman after being rescued from capsized boat. A Jamaican man has been rescued while 3 persons are still missing after a boat which a police suspect was used in drug smuggling capsizing in Caymanian waters. The incident took place on Friday but became public only on Wednesday after the Cayman Islands Coast Guard called off a search and recovery operation for the 3 missing men. According to the Cayman Compass newspaper, the search for the men began shortly after 1 p.m. on Friday when the authorities were alerted to several packages floating along the coastline of Grand Cayman. A 35-year-old Jamaican man was rescued shortly after the initial search began. He was taken to the Cayman Islands Hospital, where he was treated for minor injuries. After being released, he was arrested in connection with 945 pounds of ganja recovered from the floating packages. He was charged with illegal landing and importation of ganja and remains in custody. The 3 other men were said to have fallen overboard when the boat capsized. On Monday, the Coast Guard shifted its efforts from search and rescue to search and recovery after the 72-hour mark was crossed. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.